Guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Barcelona versus Brest in the Champions League. This will be now the halfway mark of Barcelona's group stage UCL campaign, where right now they're on a good track record but are looking to secure a top 8 finish before the big games that we do have in the latter stages of the group stage. Comfortable home game here, where it should be the case after Barcelona winless in their last 2 games. This could be a huge game for momentum and confidence going forward. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, so your regular kickoff time in the Champions League, and this match will be taking place at the Luis Campos Stadium in Montjuic, which of course is the temporary home of Barcelona, and also the referee for this match has been confirmed as well. On the pitch, it will be the Bosnian referee Ifran Plechko, who has been the referee for Barcelona before. He officiated when we lost 1-0 to Shakhtar last season away in Ukraine. And on the VAR, it will be the German referee Christian Dengert. And also, there is some news, since this is a home game, about the singing section. There most likely will not be one for this game, as they will be protesting the situation right now between the board and the away fan section. Now, according to RAC UN, Barcelona will not allow the animation stand fans to attend the Champions League match against Brest if they don't pay the €21,000 fine set by the Champions League due to their misconduct. Joan Laporta sent a letter to sporting groups linked to the Barcelona, asking them to act promptly during these matches or the club will have to abandon them. The club is now sick and tired of facing sanctions and paying fines because of mistakes from these groups. So again, the groups are getting fines, whether they're having that racist sign about Flick away at Monaco, or they're doing stuff and they keep accumulating fines, and Laporta's had enough telling them, look, you have to pay the fines. And they're saying, why do we pay the fines? We're the fans, you're the club, we don't have this kind of money. We of course put a lot of money into the club, you know, buying tickets, merchandise, stuff like that. You should pay the tickets, and Laporta, the fine, should I say, and Laporta's saying no. So a bit of back and forth here. We could be going into this home game without a true atmosphere in a very, very big game. Let's now take a look at the Champions League table, where Barcelona right now currently sits 6th in the Champions League on 9 points after playing 4 matches. We have 3 wins, 1 draw, and a plus 10 goal difference. We do have the best goal difference right now in the Champions League, following of course the 5-0 win against Young Boys, 5-2 against Red Stars, and 4-1 against Bayern Munich. We currently sit in 6th on 9 points, and we are 1 point behind our opponents in Brest, who are sat on 10 points after playing 4 matches. They have a goal difference of 6, and they have won 3, drawn 1. So they're undefeated in the Champions League. They have not lost a game so far. Hopefully we do hand them their first defeat. Again, between the top 8 and the qualification area, there's only 2 points, or 1 point should I say, separating Barcelona and the rest. So a win here would be very, very important. I would think that Barcelona would need 2 more wins now in the last 4 to secure a top 8. Hopefully other results go our way as well. Of course, our next opponent, Borussia Dortmund, are right underneath us in 7th place as well. So this is going to be crunch time now. I think 2 more wins will definitely secure us a top 8 finish, and Brest is, you know, at home, a more, not comfortable result, but a result that you would see 3 points coming out of, unlike, you know, Benfica away or Dortmund away, and then Atalanta at home. Again, Atalanta in 9th place, so it's going to be quite a difficult last 4 games for Barcelona. We kind of had our easy games out the door. We balled it against Monaco, beat Red Star, beat Young Boys, and then the win against Bayern Munich, of course, was huge. But in these 4 games remaining against Dortmund, Atalanta, Benfica, and Brest, you would hope to get 2 wins, and I think that will be enough to get Barcelona top 8. I don't think it really matters where you finish in the top 8, because I think they will do a draw all over again. But I think a top 8 finish, if I'm not mistaken, you get a home draw favored throughout the rest of the knockout rounds, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what happens if you face another team in the knockout rounds that have in the top 8, but definitely round 16 you will have that home advantage. That's going to be absolutely huge for Barcelona, and hopefully we can finish in that top 8 area. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Brest. Of course, Brest are Ligue 1 side. I believe this is their first time in the Champions League, if not their first time in quite some time. I cannot recollect a time where Barcelona have faced Brest. I don't know if we have faced them in the 60s, the 70s, or the 80s, but in my lifetime, in the 2000s, I believe the 90s as well, we have not come up against Brest because they haven't been, the best side in the world. Like I mentioned, so far in the Champions League, they are undefeated with 3 wins and 1 draw, but their Ligue 1 campaign this season has gotten off to quite a stinker. They currently sit in 12th place in Ligue 1 on 13 points. After playing 12 matches, they have 4 wins, 1 draw, and 7 losses. So again, quite a ropey team. They of course are kind of the underdogs last season, kind of like the Girona last season, I would say. But they're still doing well in the Champions League. If you look at the opponents they came up against, you would know why. Very, very low quality opposition. This is probably their first big test. Again, if you do the math, I don't even, they're almost, 20 points behind PSG in first place. So it shows their level this season in the Champions League. They've done very well against, I would say, easier opposition, but in the league against teams of their quality of equal level to them, they haven't done too well this season. Now, if you take a look at their last 6 matches in all competition, in the last match they lost to Monaco 3-2, they lost to Montpellier 3-1, they beat Sparta Prague in the Champions League 2-1, they lost to Nice 1-0, they beat Reims 2-1, and they drew 1-1 with Bayern Leverkusen in the Champions League. I would say a very, very good point for them. Now let's take a look at their last 3 games in all competition. Firstly is the 2-1 win against Sparta Prague in the Champions League. Narrow win. I believe this is definitely an away game where you're thinking the atmosphere away from home, against a team where this is probably their do-or-die game and probably their, season highlight in their home matches as well. They went out there, they put a good shift in. I did watch the highlights of this game, did not watch the game. They looked very, very comfortable for them. Sparta Prague didn't have too many chances. Their goal was quite clearly a consolation goal as well. In the end, I would say comfortable win here for Brest. Next up is their 3-1 loss to Montpellier before the international break in a game where you could say quite evenly matched opponents based on their form this season and also on personnel. You can see by the scoreline, it just wasn't it for them. Even the goal came in, they brought it back to 2-1. It wasn't really enough to keep them in it, and then of course it went down to 3-1. You can see a lot of, again, on the right hand side of the screen, the 4-3-3 formation, which they tend to line up in the majority of the time this season. But in the end, Montpellier just had a better game than them, and their last match in all competition was a 3-2 loss to Monaco. Now I did watch this game. They played on the Friday, so they're getting cheeky 24 hours more rest than Barcelona, but they do have to travel to Spain, so maybe that will balance things out a little bit. But again, day rest is always a big impact, especially when games are so close together. I think Monaco were the better team from start to finish. I understand the scoreline suggested it was a close game, but their last goal was a consolation goal. And the end of the game, I think it was a penalty, and it was like the last kick of the game. They brought it back, I believe, to 2-1, which again, Monaco were still so dangerous. They're on top. They missed so many chances, Monaco, in that first half. And Brest, apart from the 2 goals they scored, with one of them, of course, being a penalty, they didn't really create that much either. They looked very, very poor in the final third. I know the stats and the silver score numbers look alright in the final third, but I'll tell you what, from the eye test, from what I saw, they did not look that great. And again, I would say a loss where you would expect them to at least challenge a little bit. So overall, final thoughts on Brest. I would say they're a decent team, but a team this season that's kind of, over-punching at their level. They're managed by their manager Eric Roy, who of course brought them to the promised land of the Champions League, you could say. Again, I would say tactically they're a very, very strong team again for their level, but against the bigger dogs, against the big teams, it's always a 50-50. In terms of players to look out for, I wouldn't say there's any players that scare me. Kenny Lala, they have at fullback, who's a very, very good option. Sima, their striker up front, has been getting a lot of goals this season, so he's been quite clinical for them, so I'd watch out for him. Apart from that, it's just, I would say, a bunch of, not no names, but a bunch of players who have quality but are inconsistent in showing it. Again, this would be a team that Barcelona can get over the line with, but a team that can cause danger if we take them lightly. Let's now discuss some of the team news surrounding Barcelona over the past 24 hours. Again, since we have games in quick succession, we have a lot of injury reports, injury players coming back and injury players not coming back for Barcelona. First up, Lamine Yamal. He's out. He will not be playing this game. It was confirmed yesterday that he was not going to be playing this game, and he also was not in the training this morning either. So hopefully he'll be back for Las Palmas this weekend, but right now, it's hard to tell. Giving me a lot of Frankie de Jong vibes from last season, this injury. So hopefully nothing too serious. But again, apparently Flick wants him to be coming back at 100%. He did the tests. He wasn't quite fit. He's been training individually in the gym. Hopefully, minimum gets the green light and in the squad list for Las Palmas this weekend. Next up, we have an update on Gavi. According to reports after the game against Sociedad, it's very unlikely for Gavi to start this game against Brest. Not because he's injured, but again, to manage his minutes. Tony Juan Martin came out saying it's unlikely that Gavi will start the Tuesday's match against Brest. If he does perform well though against Celta Vigo, he might have great chances against Las Palmas, which of course he performed very well. So we could see Gavi start this weekend against Las Palmas, but for Brest tomorrow, very unlikely Gavi doesn't start, should I say. Some positive news: Araujo back in training. He of course trained on Sunday, as it was confirmed by Flick in the press conference for Celta Vigo. Trained today as well with the first team ahead of this match. The timeline right now is that Araujo could be back for Las Palmas, minimum squad list, but apparently he needs around 6 to 8 training sessions. So you have of course Sunday, Monday, Tuesday's a game, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So you're clutching at straws for Araujo to be in the squad list for Las Palmas. I think best case scenario, we'll probably see him midweek next week against Real Mallorca away. So in about a week's time, we should get the green light for Araujo, which of course is some great news. Some more great news, of course, we have players coming back from injury. Had Miguel confirmed this morning that Alejandro Balde and Eric Garcia will be back in the squad, getting the green light for this game. Of course, both players have never been officially announced injured by Barcelona, but we of course know they've been struggling with discomfort. It was reported that Balde did not train yesterday on Sunday, but trained today on Monday. So only one training session for Balde since the international break. So he still might not start the game, but he is fully fit. And of course, having Eric Garcia back as a squad player is absolutely huge. Now, some other big news, probably the biggest news around Barcelona in the past 24 hours, in my opinion, is the news about Balde and his position. Right now, we have the best news I've heard all season. Hector Fort is now ahead of Gerard Martin in the pecking order. Tony Juan Martin came out saying that based on the work and improving performances in training, Hector Fort has been climbing in Hansi Flick's rotation order. His performance against Celta Vigo places him as the main alternative now for Alejandro Balde. After what happened at the Baedos, everything indicates that Fort now is the #1 option to replace both Alejandro Balde and Jules Kounde. Alhamdulillah, thank God for that. So no more terrorist Gerard Martin ball for quite some time now. Hector Fort is now the first option off the bench. So if Balde is still maybe not 1000% fit to start tomorrow's game, first name that will be on the team sheet ahead of him is Hector Fort. Fantastic news there. And finally, I do want to discuss very quickly some of the words that Hansi Flick did use in the Celta Vigo game after the match. Of course, I talked about in the analysis video yesterday that Flick was very disappointed. He was yelling at the players after the game. We have some quotes here from Flick on what the words actually were coming in from having Miguel. He came out saying that we can't go on like this, lads. It's just not 5 or 10 minutes. It's the whole match. We can't go out and give only 80%. It's unacceptable. What I saw cannot be real, but rest assured that we will never see this happen again. No matter what, we can't make these many mistakes. We can't make the many bad decisions. We can't make the many slip-ups. We all know where we went wrong and what we didn't do well. I can accept defeat or a draw because these things happen, but not in this way. I will not tolerate any more mistakes of this kind. We have to train twice as hard now as we do now, but we will. But rest assured, we will be coming back and play like the team we know we can. If we can do it for 3 months in a row, we can bring it back. These are the words of Flick yelling at the players after the game against Celta Vigo, bottling, of course, the 2-0 lead, and he's now looking for a reaction in this game. Time now to get into the press conference reaction of Inigo Martinez. As we all know, in European competition, a player always becomes the manager in the presser, and today Inigo was selected as the player. So let's go and see what he had to say this morning in the press conference. So by saying that we have a very tough rival ahead of us who's doing very well in the Champions League and wants to compete. If we relax tomorrow, we could pay for it dearly. You want to get the 3 points to stay on top of the table as much as we can. On his renewal, pretty much the same thing he's been saying a lot over the past few weeks. If I renew, great. If not, I've enjoyed these 2 years at Barcelona and I'm very happy here. If I stay, W. If not, it is what it is. That's pretty much what he said there on his renewal. On the last games being draws, it was hard to digest because we had it under control, so to speak, and in certain situations the team let 2 points slip away. After the game we were angry, but these things happen in football and you can't blame anyone. We are here all to win, and we all lose together as well, but we let an important opportunity slip away with the state of how the game went, i.e. balling the game. On the offside trap, I think that the rivals obviously watch Barcelona games and analyze them just like we do with our rivals as well, but more than getting behind us is how they press in and how what way and in what intensity. If the pressure is good, it's difficult to get the ball behind our back from the fall to the rival, because the goalkeeper in forward we will save in many cases. Against Real, of course, Sociedad and Celta, when we were lowered the intensity a little bit, they create chances and create danger, despite that they got caught out a few cases, and the idea will be the same. There have been situations in which the line should not have been so far ahead to avoid risk. Defensive work has been very good. We are in a very good, and the pressure is also good. It's difficult to create chances behind our backs. I'm missing Lamine Yamal. We know how important Lamine Yamal is. I won't deny it. He gives a lot, and it's very unbalanced. That makes the defensive line retract. He faces up. He creates assists, a lot of fear. He's a vital for the team. He's very important, but that doesn't mean though that the next one who comes in won't be on par. Anyone who came to Barcelona is capable of giving Lamine Yamal's level. I don't doubt that anyone who comes in and tries to give 100 or 200%, but Lamine Yamal is Lamine. That doesn't mean whoever comes in will give us less. The day that Lamine Yamal left isn't there and we win, we won't talk about this anymore. There's enough of the squad to win many games. Just because he's not there doesn't mean we will definitely lose instead of winning. On his relationship with Hansi Flick, Hansi, from the first minute I met him, showed me that he wanted me to give me a chance, to give me opportunity. Logically, for any coach as well, he didn't want to be in the way if the boss doesn't trust you. He gave me the opportunity, and I tried to take advantage of it in preseason. The days went by, he trusted me, and when the season started, he wanted me as a starter. That's the work someone who doesn't see himself trying to fight for what is his, and what the coach has a lot of influence in, because he has to trust you. He has a lot of respect for me, and I do for him as well. We hope to enjoy many years winning titles of Barcelona. So saying that pretty much he would have left in the summer if Flick didn't back him, but in the end he convinced Flick. On the defensive line, the coach is very clear about the height of the line, and that it must be maintained. If the opponent is not pressing up from the front, it's suicide for us, for any team as well. In recent games, we have pushed a bit too hard. We have to push when the opponent is pressing, otherwise we shouldn't push. If the press is not good, it's difficult to maintain the high line, and then we have to retract a bit, which is something that is not difficult. On the level of Kubarsi, the praise is logical. He has 2 spectacular years, and considering his age, it is surprising. I started when I was 20, and I was already at a very young age, but now imagine him at 17 starting for Barcelona week in, week out for almost a year now. He has a very clear idea. He wants to succeed here, and he's already succeeding. He has many years left at Barcelona, and I hope to see him enjoy it for a very long time. I couldn't tell you what the best moment or not has been. I can say that it's been a year. I'm enjoying the most here. Everything is going well. I'm enjoying the games. The manager gives you you compete in every game. You notice that the manager appreciates you, and everything flows. I'm feeling well physically. There's no injuries. Everyone helps. It's a bit of everything. I'm comfortable. I feel like I have a lot of weight in the locker room, and I try to give 100% to help. Speaking on that weight in the locker room, he was asked on the youngsters, saying that my role is to give them 100%, but not only on the pitch, but also in the dressing room as well. It's my job for everyone else. It's my job and everyone else's job as well. Respect others. I don't know simple things like any other job. With the youngsters, I try to help them all the time, to make them feel comfortable, to let go, because when you get to the first team at Barcelona, you can get maybe a bit fiery, so they won't go and then enjoy themselves, and then they have to feel comfortable. And if it was at their home, and that they could see it on the pitch, that they enjoy themselves and contribute a lot as well. Our mentality is not to think about how to qualify with X amount of points in the Champions League. The mentality is to win the Champions League games and not to drop any points along the way whatsoever. That makes you grow. Tomorrow we have to go out because we have to win, because we will make the team go up a ladder and improve us on all aspects of the game and feel more confident and be able to do things on the pitch. The mentality is to win and not to speculate. Win and win. That's what really matters. I don't know why the journalists are so honed in on the fact that, oh, do you know how many more points you need to get top 8? I feel like they want to know the answer more than the players and the managers do. He's then asked on Inigo Martinez, and look, I don't know. He's so cold. I don't know what he's really like in general. I don't know what he thinks. I don't know, but we're delighted with him because he's a great guy. He's different. He's peculiar, but when you can see he works in silence, the opportunity comes to you, and you have to show it. And it's not easy for a Barcelona goalkeeper to step up to do well and to show the level. And Nake is showing. He's been here for many years. He knows the club, and he's so calm that I don't see him leaving his comfort zone. He gives a lot of confidence, and he's showing what a great goalkeeper he is. And finally, Inigo was asked on the defense, saying that this year, this is for the whole team, not just for the defensive line. The pressure starts with those up front. If the pressure is not good, the back will suffer. That's how it is. We all attack and defend, and the level we are showing, except in the last 2 games, is brilliant. But without confidence, this is the team. We are doing very well in all lines, and we are going to continue doing this, just this as well. We have high morale without going overboard and to give 100%, and that's what the coach asked from us. And from there, we will see if we deserve to win the game or not. And that concluded Inigo Martinez's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Brest tomorrow. Very insightful and very in-depth. Pressure from him, talking a lot about the confidence of the team going into this match. Time now to get into the press conference reaction of Hansi Flick, who of course spoke immediately after Inigo Martinez this afternoon in the presser. And let's get and see what the German had to say about Barcelona. Also by saying that it's very important for us to control the ball and finish off our attacks in order to get 3 points. In the last games, he was asked on how we've been doing, saying that we have a young team, the youngest team in the league. It is not always a smooth road. You have to be careful in certain situations during the 90 minutes with 2-0 in our favor, and with the red card, we should have defended much better than we did. We always want to play and attack, but sometimes it's enough to control the ball and defend well. In the league, they're very tough away games, and I like the away fans because they create a very good atmosphere. It's pretty much saying that it's good to play our way, but when we're in difficult situations, when in doubt, boot it out. On the league, I've always think positively. That's what I've said. It's a young team, and during the season, it's normal to have some situations like that. For me, the important thing is to learn from it. The quality of the players is very high, and we have to show it on the pitch, and we want to start showing it tomorrow. But the process is with a very young team. It's part of football. We're still leading in the league, although a smaller advantage, but any team would want to be on our path rather than others. It's better to be first place by 1 point than be behind by 1 point, because first place. On the press, of course, we want to win the ball back. Sometimes it's better to control it, and sometimes we want to score the next goal, and that's not possible, especially away from home. We have to learn about that, go and start again, and that's what we have to do. On the physicality, we are the same level as the previous games in Vigo or in Munich. It's not a question of physicality, it's more about mistakes. There are many things we could do better with and without the ball, and that's what we need to focus on. So physically, it's not an issue. It's, of course, mentally and confidence. On failures, we're continuing on our path. It's our path, and we're all fine with it. The players know it. They know that where they need to improve. We talked about it, and we had the confidence in the players. We're a young team that's doing very well. Not so much in the last few games, but we can learn from it. Dare I say it? Starting to sound a bit like Xavi, Mr. Flick. There's a lot of Xavi vibes in this presser. On the high press, you have to be very well connected, the whole team in defense and in the attack. When the attack starts from the defense, it's good to be connected. You have to put pressure on the ball when you get out, and if you don't do that, the rivals at this level know how to overcome it. Exactly what Inigo said as well. On the improvement, it's important for us, for the players to know that they are good, that they have the quality, and that they have to support us. We want to teach them that they have to play together to be connected on the pitch. It's incredible to see how they can play, but you have to transfer it in game, and that's what we are focusing on. Then he was asked on Balde's fitness, and of course I changed him because Gerard was on a yellow card at halftime. Last week Balde had muscle problems, and before the game he was kind of on the same thing, and we thought that we could play him, but in the end it wasn't possible. Today he was much better and trained well, and it could be an option for other games, but not for tomorrow. So Flick confirming there that Alejandro Balde will not start the game tomorrow against Brest. Could come off the bench. I'll probably be on the bench, but will not start the game tomorrow. This as on results, and the important thing is to win, and we're focusing on that in tomorrow's game. And finally, on the return of Lamine Yamal and how important he is, so that Lamine Yamal has a quality that allows you to control the game, but also allows the opponent to give us more space. I think, and I hope that this is the last game that we miss him for, because today he was very good, but we'll have to wait for him a little bit more. I hope that on Saturday he'll be an option, perhaps from the bench, but we will see. So hopefully Lamine Yamal, green light this weekend against Las Palmas. And got concluded Flick's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Brest tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. I'm going to start with the manager, of course, Hansi Flick. I'm going to try my best to predict his lineup. I think it will be quite easy to predict because I feel like Flick wants a reaction. We need a win. We haven't won our last 2 games. I feel like he will go full strength in this match. I think he'll go with this lineup on the screen right now with Iñaki Peña in goal, a back 4 of Kounde, Kubarsi, Inigo Martinez, and Hector Fort, midfield 3 of Casado, De Jong, and Pedri, front 3 of Raphinha, Lewandowski, and Dani Olmo. So a few changes, of course, from the Celta Vigo game. Firstly, I don't think Balde is 100% fit, so I think he will start Hector Fort. I think Balde, what I like about Flick is that he will not play players if they're 90% fit, 99% fit, or 99%. They want some 100% fit. I don't think Balde is quite there yet. One trade session since international break is very risky to chuck him into this game. I think Hector Fort played well, so I think he will give him the nod there. Of course, with no Gavi starting in this game, I think he will bring in Frankie de Jong and push Pedri forward. Had Dani Olmo on the left, Raphinha on the right, Lewa up top. I really don't see any other change. He could be potentially start from in Lopez and then have Pedri in the De Jong position. Would not mind that whatsoever. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But I think he will go with the big names and a bit conservative. So to be the line that I think that Flick will select for this match. And again, he is looking for a big reaction. According to Mundo Deportivo, Hansi Flick has previously warned about the drop in focus after the Espanyol game, but softened his tone, hoping that it was a one-off. However, after back-to-back poor performances, Flick has now taken a firm approach. His priority to regain intensity, especially in high press, and recover after lost balls. The message is clear: the team must improve immediately, or changes will happen in the team. 25 Marti also confirmed that Flick sees a lack of determination and believes some players have relaxed lately. He knows this drop in intensity since the Espanyol derby and is especially upset by the team's lack of hunger, both in possession and in pressing. Flick demands a full focus performance, not just flash of brilliance. So again, he is looking for a big reaction in this game. I believe this will be the line that he will select to get that reaction. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Flick will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was a Barcelona coach, and I have made just one little minor tinker to Hansi Flick's lineup prediction. I have gone with this lineup on the screen right now, and I have made that one change. I have dropped Frankie de Jong to start Fermin Lopez. I just want that bit of attacking fluidity, that attacking intent, especially with not having a natural winger in this team. I don't really want to rely only on Lewandowski and Raphinha to create and score goals in the final third. Of course, Dani Olmo can do that, but he's going to be out on the left. So he's going to be a bit nullified, in my opinion. That's why I would bring in Fermin Lopez, have a full, attacking fluidity. I like Fermin Lopez's attacking cameo against Celta Vigo in that 15 minutes or so. I think if you start him from the beginning, keep Pedri in that pivot where he's been absolutely unbelievable this season as well. That's also a main part in my decision. I don't want to take Pedri out and put him in the 10. Keep him in the 8 where he has been absolutely shining this season. Of course, Casado suspended this weekend against Espanyol. Play him, rinse him in this game. He'll get a nice rest this weekend. And that's something that I would select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you'd rather pick my lineup or Flick's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I am backing a reaction. I am backing a Barcelona win by 3-1. I think we will concede some, jammy goal, as we tend to do in the Champions League, whether it's against Red Star or against Bayern or against Monaco. Only one clean sheet in the Champions League so far this season. I don't think we will get the other one in this game, but I do believe we will win. Again, it's at home. Hopefully, the second section is in the stadium. If not, I would be a tad bit worried because you're not going to have that atmosphere to get the the players excited and get the players motivated as well. But we're a much better side than Brest, of course. We need a reaction. We're at home. I sense that Flick will pick a very, very strong team, and I think the players hopefully will step up in this game. I trust Raphinha, De Jong as the leaders in the dressing room, and also Pedri as well to get the team motivated and up for this game. So I'm confident, and I'm backing the win. I have gone the score line of 3-1. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that was a match preview for Barcelona versus Brest in the Champions League. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well. Let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing I want to first see, of course, is your score prediction, and also secondly on the lineups. Firstly, would you rather pick my lineup or Flick's lineup? What do you think Flick will go with? What would you go if you're the manager? Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me, watch the game with me, fall share for the match by my match review. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big game ahead. Take care, and Forza Barca. Go, 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 go.